Yes, that's exactly what I said in the previous segment. Wisdom is the opposite of justice. Wisdom is about letting go. Justice is about not letting go. You see, in life, we can choose one of two paths, one of two ways. You could either be right and on the side of justice, or you could be wise and move on with your life. Wisdom requires compromise, and compromise requires sacrifice. This is the sequence. This is the unbroken chain. If you're wise, you compromise. If you compromise, you sacrifice. And sacrifice is often unfair. Sacrifice is often unjust. That's why it's called sacrifice. But sacrifice, in the vast majority of cases, is wise. And it is wise because it leads to compromise, and compromise is just another name for life. Justice, fairness, balance, these are abstract concepts. These are dead concepts. These are symbols. These are principles. This is not life. This is not life. Life is made up of small insults to our sense of justice, of small unfairnesses, of imbalances, of asymmetries, of compromises, of sacrifices. This is life. And wisdom is about surviving. Wisdom is about having a life. So when you have grudges, when you ruminate, when you nurture your personal rivalries and negative emotions, all you're doing is you're self-defeating. You're self-destructive. This is not helpful to you. This is not a winning strategy. Letting go and moving on require a conscious acceptance. And acceptance is the key here. Letting go and moving on is a conscious acceptance that life is not fair, that life is not just, that life reflects these asymmetries of power, these imbalances of endowments. The gifts that the universe doles out are not distributed equally. The playing field is anything but level. Cunning and scheming, callousness and ruthlessness, a lack of empathy, they're often rewarded. And all we can do is sit back and watch like a mute audience. Because this is how life is constructed. Life is impersonal. Life is not a process that was created in order to cater to our needs and hopes and dreams, and that's not life. That's Disneyland. That's fantasy. The wise man and the wise woman pick their battles. They're very choosy. They're very selective when they enjoin battle. The wise man and the wise woman never feel disrespected or undignified when they are grounded in the realities of survival, when they have to give up, when they have to give in. Sometimes surrender and submission are wise strategies. When your sense of self-worth, when your self-esteem, when your self-confidence are tied up in always being right, forever prevailing, sempiternally winning, some kind of imagined competition. When your sense of self-worth and self-esteem and self-confidence are derivatives of being treated justly, fairly by the world, you're not healthy. You're either a narcissist with a sense of entitlement, or maybe you're trying to reduce and assuage your existential angst and anxieties. Either way, it is an unhealthy approach to life. Your knowledge of who you are, your core identity, your sense of self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence, your self-concept, should all be primary, not derivative, not reactive. They should emanate from the inside. They should infuse you and imbue you in a sense of you, in a sense of personhood, in a sense of what makes you, you. You can't go through life depending on being right, on prevailing, on winning, on being treated justly and fairly. Because if these are your expectations, you're in for a life of disappointments and bitterness. The world and people in it owe you nothing, not even justice, not even fairness, not a level playing field. They owe you nothing. Listen to me well, no one owes you anything. Period. And life is too short. It's an expendable, perishable resource. Our resources are scarce: time, energy, health. Most issues cannot be resolved. Most diseases cannot be cured. Most wounds cannot be healed. Most people are less than morally upstanding. Take it or leave it. Get over it. Invest in life, not in abstract notions and principles and theories and ideologies, not in justice, not in fairness, not in all this nonsense. Counterfactual, unrealistic, non-grounded nonsense. Be wise.